more shots you make, the more calls you make, the more no's, the more misses you're going to get. But that equals to a yes. That equals to a deal.
Because at the end of the day, if you wanted it bad enough, you would do whatever it took. And if the only excuse you have is lack of information and experience, you can only gain experience by doing, and information you typically gain by failure. So that, or I'm just putting this out there, you pay for information.
The offers we make today are the deals we're going to close tomorrow.
What I'm saying is, like, I need that energy. Let me get around it. Let me come. Exposure equal expansion. Like, everything changes when you get in the right room. So I'll be telling people, go to these events, and they get it wrong. You think I'm telling you to attend these events to give us money. It changed my life when I started getting around people who was making more money than me, doing better than me. I got once you see it, you can't unsee it. But if you go back home to you being the only person winning, you go back home to you're going to be discouraged when you had nobody to talk to. You can't pull up to a network. You got an event every week somebody can pull up to. More than meetup, they literally get to come pull up to all of these tapings.
For the builder side, we have to build connections, right? So if you got builders in different regions in Florida, that's going to bring more deals to you. If you network with realtors in, Arizona, North Carolina, that's more deals coming to you. If you network with people within this, in the circle, within the EDB Academy, within the free group, that is more deals coming to you. So as long as you apply and continue to build connections, more deals is going to attract to you.
Look for a good deal, and the way you look for a good deal is to look for distress, and the way you look for distress is to either go for you get a list of everybody that owns land, and you try to cold call like hundreds of people, maybe 1,000 people a week. You make dozens of offers a week, or, which is a little bit easier to do for most people, you get a list of very, 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 very high distress, which means you get a tax delinquent list, with people who are maybe 3 years behind on taxes. And you can check typically with the clerk of courts. They have a website. You can download the list there where people's sale is already scheduled. So they have like 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks and the lot is gone. And so if you can call those people and you can find them, because a lot of times those people, you're not able to find them. But if you find them, maybe 10% of them will sell to you at a steep discount. And then try to get if you have a $40,000 a lot that has a retail value of $40,000, I would say try to get it for less than 20. Try to get it for 15 or for 10 or something. And then you have a deal, and now you can decide, am I going to wholesale it? Maybe, pop off like $5,000 or $10,000 or $12,000 or whatever, or do I want to hold on to it or whatever? But it all starts with finding a good deal. So
100%. So that was a really good question.
You can only be as wealthy as the information you know. You cannot out earn your understanding. And so now we got to get more understanding.
Right. I say this a lot, and I'm going to say it again today, is that you were entitled to the work, not the result. Fall in love with consistency. That's the goal, not the check.
There's a process to this. Number one is to pick your tribe. Don't do it yourself. Pick a community. Have people that are already doing this. We're not in the industrial age. We're not in the information age. We're in the social age. That's an absolute fact. And so pick your tribe, pick your model, pick what path you're going to follow, do your first deal, get the proof of concept, get consistent so that you can do it full time and fire your boss. And then once you've got it going and you're really making things happen and you're really closing deals consistently, you start firing yourself from different roles in the business. And now you've got a business that runs without you, and you can go focus on building the best rental portfolio possible.
It is a fact that you will come to believe whatever you repeat to yourself, whether the statement is true or false. If you repeat a lie over and over, you will eventually accept that lie as truth. Moreover, you will believe it to be the truth. You are what you are because of the dominating thoughts that you permit to occupy your mind.
I don't think you get anywhere alone. And, I think that God uses other human beings to bless us and to take us to different spots, right? Because that's the purpose and the power of being connected to people, is to be able to work and to be in each other's worlds and lives, to teach lessons, to open up perspectives, to show pathways and new opportunities that we may not have been able to have been blessed with on our own.
2, What, this week?
Yeah, close one on Tuesday and close another one today.
How much you made today?
3,600 today.
How much you made on Tuesday?
7,500.
10K week?
10K week.
Can I borrow $1?
Hey.
No, I'm playing with you. But
Next week, got 2 more next week.
And 2 more next week.
There is a difference between wishing for a thing and being ready to receive it. No one is ready for a thing until they believe they can acquire it. The state of mind must be belief, not mere hope or wish. Open-mindedness is essential for belief. Closed minds do not inspire faith, courage, and belief.
I got to figure this out on my own. Honestly, that's a poverty thinking that we were trained as children to do, right? Because in school, I think Robert Kiyosaki said it best, however you said his last name, right? He said in school, you taught it's cheating. And as an adult, you taught it's collaboration. Mm-hmm. And so because we're taught that it's cheating and we have to figure it out on our own, we're constantly trying to figure things out on our own. But if we learn how to collaborate, we can build each other up a lot faster than we could on our own.
I started learning about how money works, where money comes from. There's people playing a different game. Some people will never make $500,000 in their life. And there's people driving in $500,000 cars. Something changed.
If you could make 5 offers a day for 2024, I promise you it would be the best year of your life.
You are maybe 10 or 15 or 20 conversations away from completely changing everything financially. Everything.
Oh, that's why social media is important, because it brings you everything you need in your business. It brings employees, it brings deals, it brings private money, it brings literally everything there. And then rooms start opening up. Even at my very tiny social media level, like my claim to fame is like 8,000 followers on Instagram. But nonetheless, still to this day, people come up to me and are like, oh my God, I love your content. It helped me out so much. And it also gives you that gift, right?
Not look at the results, but look at the actions. And this is something not a lot of people are willing to do. It's always the cause and effect. Everybody wants the effect, but they're not willing to do the thing that causes that chain reaction, right? People want the dominoes to fall, but they're not willing to push the first domino.
We are not in the industrial age. We're not in the information age anymore. We're in the social age.
Yeah, 100%.
And if you don't build social, you're going to be behind as a business owner.
Yeah.
You're going to be behind. You have to, just like Pace was saying, you have to give it back. You have to give it back. You got to get as loud as possible. You're experiencing this with your own social media right now.
Yeah. And I just want to say, I really want to add this on to what Pace was talking about, because Pace constantly reiterates this, and it's completely changed my life, that you were talking about this, how it's literally a torch. So you saw how Brent gave it to Pace and Pace gave it to me.
When you hang out with people better than yourself, doing more than you, being more than you, having more than you, you become 15% more efficient every 90 days. You become 15% better every 90 days. When you hang out with people that are losers or beneath you, you become 30% less efficient. You become 30% less motivated every 90 days. Now, the interesting part of this is that hanging out by yourself has the same effect as the losers have on you. You hang out by yourself, you become 30% less effective, efficient, and motivated, because the only voice you're listening to is this internal lizard in your brain that tells you to be afraid of everything. And so I owe a lot of my life, my kids, what food I put on my table, because of Brent Daniels pushing me and letting me be in his proximity.
But I'll tell you, the 7-figure wholesalers, the 6-figure wholesalers, I would say 90% of them do this, right? So the number one schedule issue I've seen, hands down, from so many people is they do not have a plan when they wake up in the morning.
Your intent and you're bigger than what your paycheck is telling you. I want you to sit down, get yourself a whiteboard, make it plain. Your dreams are, your goals are only dreams if they're not written down. I have 3 whiteboards surround me in my office. I have one right in front of me that's a do list, not a to-do. It's a do list. A to-do list gives you an excuse to find the easiest one to do, and then you pick it out. You have a do list, get it done. Then on my left, it's my immediate goals for the year. Then on my right, which is a larger board, it's my vision for the next 5 years. So I'm surrounded by what I'm gonna do.
They all made plans. And when you're watching this right now, and you think you're just going to wake up in the morning and just play it by whatever you feel for the day, that is not how successful people run. And heck, even if you haven't made any money yet, like, you need to start thinking like this, because when you start thinking like this, a lot of your stuff starts changing, a lot of your mindset. And I'll tell you, when I talk about actually doing efficient work, when it comes to doing an hour of work is equal to 2 hours for the average wholesaler, when you put in 10 hours in wholesaling, you actually get 20 hours of results. It's making plans. It's not using your mental bandwidth thinking of what to do during the day. You should already wake up like, okay, I'm doing this, and this. It's insane. If you're not doing this, I just wanted to let everyone know you must make a plan before you get up in the morning. So right before you go to bed, write down what has to be done for the day. You should always have a plan for this. If you don't, you're going to be way set back for success. I tell everyone watching this, you will.
Poor thinking habits keeps most people poor, not poor working habits. Most people work hard, but they don't think hard. And Shoaff taught me that the mind is like a factory, a mental factory. And whatever you think about all day long pours ingredients into this mental factory. He quoted me a Bible phrase that says, "As you think, so you become." How awesome.
That has worked because I don't really waste time. All right. Like when I have a break, I have a break. And what I mean by that is, like, there's no TikTok. There's no me scrolling endlessly on Instagram. There's no texting a bunch of people. This is just focused work. Like, my phone's like off when it comes to like family and friends. Family, like, I'll get calls, I guess, but like focused work. And this is why when I have 1 hour focused work, it's equal to 2 hours of regular work, because I'm not doing stupid stuff. All right. I'm not going out here and like, oh, I'm playing around on Facebook all day. No, none of that's stupid at social media. No, I just work. And a lot of you guys get caught in that trap where you're working, but you're not working. You're kind of like side working, right? If you have a regular job, like I've done that, like I get it, right? When I was working at a grocery store, like, you're kind of working, but you're not. You gotta stop that stupid stuff, okay? Well, you're like, well, let's do a podcast. Why texting? It's like, no. Okay, you just got to focus on what you're doing. I know it's boring.
If you want to find a reason to procrastinate or find an excuse, you'll find one. There's always a reason to find one. So I would suggest never put a reason to wait in front of the reason to do. Just do. A lot of people who tend to say, oh, I'm afraid. But when they become unafraid, when they do it with other people. It's the alone part that's scary. It's not having the other person who knows what you're going through, who's doing the thing that you want to do. A lot of the times, and I hate using this, it's a lot of times people are sleeping with the enemy. Like, they're actually with someone who don't believe in them, and now they're holding all this inside on how to talk to this person that they've been with, they love and they care about. It's not going right, but if I tell them, they're going to tell me I should have never did this in the first place. So how do I tell them that I have a problem? And how it's uncomfortable and they're scared.
Facts.
Surround yourself with the right people. Sorry about that.
That's why you get a community.
Yeah.
That's why you.
Anytime you're explaining something so great to somebody, and even when they come to you and ask you, how could they do what you're doing? And then they say this key word. If they say the word, but, I want you to just walk away. Because but is the delete button for the brain. Everything you just told them, they erased it. They erase everything you've just said to now give significant value to what they're about to say to you.
But the fact that you go to work every day for 8-10 hours, then come home and you do nothing about your business, you have no right to complain about where you are financially right now. You have no room to excuse the audacity of someone to complain about not having a garden when you failed to plant the seeds. You failed to cultivate the garden. You can't complain about that. You didn't do anything. But it's not that you didn't do anything today. You might be motivated and inspired today, but I'm telling you, you're going to have to pay for them last 5 years of laziness. With another 5 years of pure grind, and I promise you, it starts to show up.